Due to the explicit content, viewer discretion is advised.
Hey there guys, it's Sable Guy and welcome to a video here. This is going to be a little bit something different. I'm mainly recording this because it is 3:30 in the morning. Actually, never mind, almost 5 in the morning. Holy crap, time flies by. But anyways, so I'm just going to do this quick video because I'm bored, and speaking of boards, we're going to take a look at some motherboards here. What I plan on doing is I'm going to build a computer literally on screen, and yeah, it's going to be amazing. So, with that said, first board that I have here looks like it's going to be an Asus M3A. This is an older board. I cannot remember where it came from. But with this little bastard right here, this is like my first gaming computer board. Unfortunately, it has the AMD socket only, so this is going to suck ass from the beginning already. It's got the video out and everything like that, all those cool fancy things from the mid to late 2000s. This is a DDR2 board with 4 dual channel memory slots. Basically, that's about it. There's nothing really exciting about this board, so we're going to go ahead and set that down. And then what I have here is I have yet another Asus board, but this one is going to be the AB or A8 M2N-LA board. This one as well is an AM2 socket board, as you can tell right there. I don't know if you can see, but you know, who likes reading? So anyways, with that said, this has also got the dual channel DDR2 memory, built-in NVIDIA graphics, which is quite freaking awesome. PCI Express slot, and then 3 of the PCI slots. Same thing here. Basically the same. So apparently I got the same board, but just one is smaller than the other, or a different form factor. And then finally, last but not least, this is going to be an Intel board. So this is going to be the FSB 1333, I think it is, or it might be actually the G41T-AD. A little dusty, sorry. So this one's actually with DDR3 memory, so unfortunately it's only got 2 slots. It's got Intel graphics built in. So, oh wow, really? 8281 gigabyte? Never knew that. But basically, it's going to have an Intel chipset instead of AMD. I cannot remember what socket, but I think it's like LGA 775, I think it is. Very basic things on the back. You got your PS2 ports. You got your VGA cable slot, 2 USB, Ethernet, and all that other crap. So nothing really exciting about this board. It cannot really accept anything more than 3 gigabytes, I think it is, because I think it gets angry. It doesn't want to accept any other memory slots, but whatever. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and just put that there. So those are the 3 boards that I'm stuck with, because honestly those are the only ones I'm going to have, and I'm not going to rip my PC apart just to have another board to throw out. From there, we're going to take a look at my processors that I have. I have 3 choices. Alright, so first choice, we have the AMD 3800 Plus. So AMD Athlon 64X2 3800 Plus. That one is rated at 2 gigahertz with a 512 kilobyte cache, so that's terrible. Really terrible. But it was really cool back then, because that's what I had with that board right there when I was doing gaming. This is my original board that I had in my tower that I showed in a previous video. So now that this little fella here, you know, this thing used to be able to get the jobs done with the older games and things like that, but unfortunately that just does not work anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and set that down. Then I went ahead and upgraded to the AMD Athlon 5000 series. So the 5000 series was pretty badass. This one is a 2.6 gigahertz processor. And I believe it still has the same 512 kilobyte cache, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Who knows? But this thing really rocked when I first got it. It's nothing really fancy anymore. So it's a little outdated, obviously, since it's copyright 2005, so nothing fancy there. So, and then last again, but not least, I'm going to have the Intel Pentium E6600. one was launched in, I think, somewhere January, February of 2010, I want to say. Yeah. But it has massive better. It's much better than those two combined. This one has cache of 2 megabytes, and it's a smart cache, so it does significantly better processing power. It is a dual core. There's no hyper threading or anything like that. Nothing fancy like that. So it does things quite significantly good. And I was right. It was the LGA 775 socket. So I think because of the performance of this little guy here, I think I'm going to go with that board there. So from there on out, we're going to go ahead and get things set up. That said, so let's get things set up here. But we got the board here, processor, and we got DDR3, 2 gigs right there. We got DDR3 again with 1 gigabyte there. If you can see, it's like really, yeah. So we're gonna go with those. Now I don't have another power supply because I was thinking about throwing in my NVIDIA GTX 970 in with combining all this, but unfortunately that will not work. So I instead opt to go back old school again, and I went and decided to put in my very first graphic cards that I got. That is the MSI N9800 GT series. So this one's a 512 megabyte card. Very cool back in the day. I think it was like 2008 or 2009 is when it was released. So we're gonna go with that. And then we got a good old-fashioned CD drive. So nothing really fancy there. I mean, DVD, RW, all that crap. So we're gonna set that there. I did something kind of strange. So I got a power supply here. It is a stock power supply from an Acer computer. It is have decent output. It's only 250 watts. So it's not really recommended for games or anything like that. I mean, it is enough power to power this fella, but this thing I would recommend not using because what I also had to do is I had to do some splicing here because this requires a 6-pin connector. So what I did is I took the wire from one of the SATAs straight from the power supply, and then I hooked up a 6-pin. It's a 6-pin connector and everything, but I left the other wires back so in case if I need to hook it back up again, they'd be good to go. So just a basic power supply, nothing really fancy. We got our data cables for the SATA and the disk drive, and then my homemade power cable. That's to turn it on and off because I used the other parts for another computer build that I no longer have. And the hard drive that we're going to be using is going to be a SATA drive. So we're just going to use an Hitachi. This one has my test build of Windows 8.1, so everything is in here that it needs. It is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, as you can see where that arrow is. And this one is actually not that old, so it's actually a relatively new drive. So let's go ahead and start the build. How about that, huh? But this is really awesome, so I can't wait. I can't wait to start this build, see if it actually works. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab a really pile of crap freaking shell here. So we got an old Dell Inspiron shell that we're gonna start with. So let's see here. Alright, so first of all, actually what I need to do is I need to install power supply first. So I'm gonna get that out of the way. Need to have the fan turning out. Make sure that's all secure. Little handy dandy little things here. These are DDR2, so unfortunately we cannot use these fellas. These are DDR2 and 512 megabytes, please. Are you kidding me? Alright, so get the little screws here. Need 3 of them. Always gotta fight me all the way. Maybe I should put it in the right hole. Ah, by the way, this is an old case that I used to do some experimentations and things on. So it's not going to be the most prettiest case in the world. And by the time I'm done with this, I won't be able to use a side panel because it's very thin profile. And I believe the graphics card may not fit in this fella. So I need to throw this power supply in. And just to prove to you this is what this thing is, yeah, it's a Dell, built in 2010 maybe. Doesn't say a manufacture date, whatever. And see, there's a hole there that I cut there because I did another power supply that I tried putting in here. So basically, this thing is just a shell to hold like mainly most of my basic needs. Basically, the next thing that we need to do is we need to install this straw into this juice. That's better. Next, we're gonna grab the motherboard and we're just gonna put this in here. Now be sure to have this back plate installed. I went ahead and put that in off camera. So with that said, we're gonna put this in. Make sure it lines up. And you're gonna make sure it lines up with the screws in there. So like with that there, make sure it lines up. And then you go ahead and you put the screws back in. All this shit. All this stuff installed. It literally is a really long countdown to terrible. Damn it! What the fuck's with these screws? Some people might get offended by naughty language. Honestly, they need to fucking grow up. Damn it! Oh my god, for fuck's sake. Come on. Jesus Christ. The board is installed. So again, it's the Intel E6600. Don't know if it's going to be the best for gaming. Let's see here. Apparently that goes in this direction. Make sure it's all nice and snug. And voila, she's nice and held in. Went ahead and got everything all nice and plugged in. So there's the processor that's all snuggled in. Screws are all in. So basically this is what I'm just doing, is showing you a close-up that everything is in so far. So that is all done. Alright. Nothing really special, just a motherboard. A small one at that. Really small one. So, with that being done, now what we're going to do is we're going to grab these RAM sticks. So we got the DDR3 RAM here. If it decides to focus, I don't know what the hell's going on. There we go. So we got the 2 GB and the 1 GB. All that fancy pansy stuff. So, I'm going to go ahead and install these. So make sure these tabs are open. Click and click. Click and click. Voila. Got my heat sink right here with the fan on there. Nothing really fancy and special. Just a stock Intel heatsink, but I put a fan on there from an AMD processor because the Intel fan died. So we're gonna slip that there for now. Fan guard. I need to find my thermal paste. Awesome. Alright, I found my thermal paste. It's just a little $5 tube, 2 grams of this stuff. Mainly, you don't need to put very much of this stuff on here. So, it's just like you need like a little pea size of this. Just stick it right on there. And voila, just a little piece of gunk like that. And then we're going to go ahead and stick the fannular device on there. That should be enough. Let's see, hopefully that's going to be enough space for that. No, we're going to go like so. So it's going to be right on top of it. Alright. Now be sure you line this up, don't slide it around too much on there. We don't want that thermal paste to be going all over the place. Put that on there. Voila. Who knows, I might do something crazy and take like this stick out and maybe install Windows 98 or something on it. Secure all thine levels. And you don't want to super tighten it either. It's not necessary. Plug that in. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to get my makeshift power cable because, you know, the switch is gone. So we're going to stick that through there. And that. So those are installed. Next, the MSI 9800 GT. It's a pretty nifty little bastard. It's a legit thing. It's the overclock too. Woo! Alright. Now, this one's going to be a little unorthodox. I'll show you here in a second. But we're just going to go ahead and slide this mofo in here. Now, because of the form factor here, it's not going to be in there snugly. I mean, it is going to wobble a little bit, but it still will work. Because science. Next, we got the Hitachi data cables to install first. So we got the CD drive right here. Just installed that. Why are these so hard to figure out? Like so. There we go. Ha! Get it. Let's see what else we can do here. We're gonna... Oh my god, this is why I hate these stupid bent-like ones. They're really difficult to work with here. Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna install it like so. Voila. Have a little loop-de-loop. Because fuck you, that's why. Probably should have plugged in the power to the motherboard first. That's in. This one goes all the way over here. The science. And these are the power cables for... That's to the CD and hard drive. Like a genius. Now with this, install like so. I'll get the CD drive in. So slide that in, but not all the way. So that goes in like so. That goes in there like so. And locked in place. Well, so much for frickin' wire management. That's straight out the frickin' window, eh? That was a lot easier than I thought it would have been. I thought it would have taken a lot longer. But everything's in. It's not going to have a faceplate on there, but it sure got a button to start the bastard up. We got a hard drive, and we got a CD drive. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get all the connections and things like that and fire this thing up for the first time. Let's see here. Now I got plugging in the power supply. We got the monitor right here and ready for you to view. Yes, it is a crappy E-Machines monitor, but hey, it works. Alright, so what I got going on here is I have a VGA cable to a DVI cable because the back of the graphics card there is only DVI. Getting some speakers plugged in. Hopefully those work. Got our keyboard, an old Dell one, so it should for sure work. It's just an old HP mouse, nothing special or exciting. Alright, moment of truth, hitting the power button. Well, everything works so far, but nothing being displayed, or a beep that the BIOS is going through. Like I said, it's trial and error. Wow, that's taking itself a hot minute. Alright, what did I do wrong? See, it's trial and error. Okay, graphics card's working. That's working. Alright, let's shut her down real quick while I do a little bit of looking here. Let's see here. Let's take that out. Put that in. I'm not getting no BIOS, no nothing showing up. What is going on here? So let me disconnect this. Take out the graphics card for now. So I don't understand what's going on here. It was a RAM stick. What the hell? Apparently I didn't have the RAM stick installed properly. Put this back in. Yep, it was the RAM stick. I'm a fucking idiot. Probably reinstall this next time I shut it down. Hey, look at that. We got Windows 8.1. So, just gonna do this real quick. Hey, it's working. It's really working. So, waiting for Steam to do its thing. Good God, Steam, hurry up. Oh my God, Steam, hurry the fuck up. Well, since we're waiting for Steam to do its dumbass thing, we're gonna... everything is working expertly. It even kind of has an old school frickin' sounding hard drive. I don't know if you can hear it. Do that. Computer system properties. So we got Windows 8.1 Pro, Intel Pentium dual core CPU E6600 at 3.06 gigahertz or 3.07, 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is frickin' pitiful, but unfortunately that's all I've got for now. 64-bit operating system, yada 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 yada, activated, and it's Windows 8. And it looks like it runs pretty well. So what we're going to do is we're going to monitor... Oh, and we got sound too. Yay! How the processor's doing here. They're not even fully clocked, and the temperatures are decent. I wish they were just a smidgen cooler, but that's not too bad. Yes. Yep. The Wolfdale. Alright. So good to know. Try something here. Yes. And we'll set it for high quality. Not ultra. Who knows? Let's see if it'll shit itself. It's running very smoothly. Wow. This is running a hell of a lot smoother than I thought it would be. A lot smoother. Let me grab my little keyboard here. Well, looks like I got a medium range,
Please stand clear of the gate.
Please stand clear of the gate. It's still there. This is nice. Wow. I'm actually very surprised. It looks like it's running between maybe 45 and 55 frames a second. I don't have Fraps on here, so I can't tell. Alright, well the good news is I have Fraps installed on here so I can see how well the freaking Fallout 3 is going to run. So, the only problem is I only have 2 USB slots on here, so I'm going to have to probably lose something here. So, we'll get that installed and be right back. Ah, screw it. I just unplugged the keyboard. Hopefully it won't recognize my handy dandy device here. Thank you. There's a problem with this drive. Bullshit. It's just got older programming on it. Continue without scanning. Quit being a bitch. Show key plus, Fraps build. Yeah, Windows 2000, that's why. Did the transfer, we can rip that out. Yada yada yada, important, agree. Next, install. Pretty snappy. Close. That's all done. FPS, hot disk, overlay hotkey. We'll have a net corner and it's F12. Alright. Let's try this again. So you'll see up there in that top corner there, 60 frames a second. By golly, I was right. Yes, I'd like to continue. I'm 51. Holy crap, that loaded immediately, and look at that! This is on high settings at 16 by 900, and we are getting 58, 59 is what it's bouncing between. 61. Man, I was off.
Need some drugs? Try the brass lantern.
Look at that, 62 is the highest I've seen it go up to. Well, find some fucking water. This is awesome. Well, these are just a bunch of parts that I found and threw together. This is pretty freaking awesome. And not bad at all. This OC N9800 GT is still pretty good. Well, anyways, guys, I think I'm just going to end the video with that. But yeah, 60 frames a second, hell yes. Oh, that makes me happy. Alright, and we're going to quit and exit game. So that'll be it for this video. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird and unorthodox, but hey, this is what I wanted to do. So, I built a computer right in front of you guys. Alright, have a great morning. I'm going to go pass out now.